কোম্পানি ফর্ম করা। এটা তোমার এক্সিস্টিং ক্লায়েন্টের জন্য হতে পারে, নতুন কোনো বিজনেস আসলে হতে পারে, অথবা তোমার একই যে পুরাতন একটা কোম্পানি ঝামেলা হইতেছে, উই ওয়ান্ট টু শাট ইট ডাউন, উইল হ্যাভ অ্যানাদার কোম্পানি, এই জন্য হইতে পারে। বিভিন্ন রিজনে আমরা কোম্পানি ওপেন করি এবং এটা আমাদের অলমোস্ট রেগুলার একটা কাজ। মনে করো যে অলমোস্ট এভরি উইক উই গট সাম সর্ট অফ নিউ ক্লায়েন্টস or existing clients, they need a new company. So process is very easy, only few minutes is take, but risk is very high. So we'll discuss about the risk. Risk is the limited company, they mainly got shareholder, director, company secretary. But nowadays, companies have said you don't need company secretary. Director is fine. And to form a company, you need minimum one director, one shareholder. Minimum. But obviously, there is some other company, there is no shareholder, like limited company limited by grantee. Okay. But that is very rare. That's normally for charity organization like mosque or any other social organization. There is no uh, most recently. So what we need to do, limited by shares, only that company. So the company director and shareholder is not necessarily company director need to be shareholder, but most of the case you will see the same director and shareholders, because this is a very, it's called closed company. Closed company definition you can find out in Google, but mainly is less than 5 director and shareholders. So our organization, I mean our company, you can say 99% are under closed company. Closed company means there is no other shareholders. I mean only few shareholders within 5 maximum. So this sort of a company will form. So what is the risk? Risk is when you form the company, definitely you have to have a director copy of passport. The reason you name need to be exactly as per passport. You cannot make any mistake on surname or first name, or write down other way around, like surname first, family name second. But whatever form is there, you need to write down exactly the same. So you're not gonna start forming a company unless you receive a copy of passport. That for you at least next 2 months. Whatever company you'll form, definitely have to have director passport. It doesn't matter British passport, Bangladeshi passport, European passport, doesn't matter, but you need to have a copy of passport. And if you made a mistake on the name, then you need to form again, because the passport name will be linked to the bank, all the utility companies, HMRC. So everywhere name need to be 100% correct. It cannot be make mistake. And if it's made a mistake on company's house, HMRC will pick up from company's house mistake name. So name cannot be mistake. And if your name is mistake, he cannot open a bank account. Bank will reject. So if we made a mistake, what's gonna happen? Because this is number one, client will be dissatisfied very beginning, because it's the first impression that we cannot do even monkey job. Monkey job means just copy paste. So we cannot make a mistake. So that's the number one risk. Number two, there are 3 address we need to add in a company's house. One is director personal address, then correspondence address, registered office address. And if you use same address for all 3, you cannot form the company, because one address need to be separate. And personal address cannot be used in commercial property name or commercial address, because UK they can easily find out which one is commercial property and which one is residential property. So residential address need to be residential. I mean, the director personal address need to be in residential address. And correspondence address means company's house, Haitian Revenue and Customs, and other party where they'll send the letters. So that is called correspondence address. Maximum case, you will see our office address is correspondence and registered office address. Registered office means the company's documents like bank statements, invoices, and other information will be kept in registered office address. So which is our office address. So this one you need to use as registered office address. But of course, this is not mandatory because some clients, they don't want us to use registered office address in Luton. So we need to ask client whether registered office will be our office address or their business address, or even though sometimes they want to use their personal address. There is nothing wrong. So in that case, you might ask a question. You said that three addresses cannot be the same, like correspondence, residential, direct residential address and registered office address. So in that case, we need to tell client that that we use one address separate. Full stop. So, and the second is shareholders. Shareholders is also important. You need to input shareholders details like name, date of birth, I think, and address. So that also, if it's more than one shareholder, like say director, then there are other shareholders. So you need to get the same sort of information from the client. So who will be the shareholders, their copy of passport, national insurance number, and proof of address. It could be driving license or an utility bill like gas, water, electricity, or personal bank statement. For the director also same, we need a proof of address as bank statement, driving license, or any utility bill, not credit card statements. Credit card statement cannot is not an authentic documents for proof of address. And these three, copy of passport, national insurance number, and proof of address, that we need to keep in our folder. This is for money laundering purpose. Because if anyone want to open the company account, he or she need to prove that he is eligible or she is eligible to do the business in UK. Any question, I'll come back. Let me finish within another minute or so. And all the steps will discuss by Nayab in few minutes. Any question? Hello?
ভাইয়া করেসপন্ডেন্ট অ্যাড্রেস এটা কি রেজিস্ট্রেড আমাদের অ্যাড্রেসে দেওয়া হয় সব সময়?
এটা আমরা জিজ্ঞেস করব। জিজ্ঞেস করি, সে যদি বলে যে হ্যাঁ আপনাদের অফিস, তাহলে আমাদের অফিস রাখবো, আর যদি বলে তার পার্সোনাল অ্যাড্রেস, তাহলে আমরা পার্সোনাল অ্যাড্রেস দেব।
জি ভাই।
Any other question? সোহেল ভাই?
জি, আমরা শুনলাম, পুরোটা আবার একটু শুরু থেকে শুনবো, শোনার পরে আর কোনো আপাতত যা শুনছি ঠিক আছে, আর একটু শুনে
এখানে আমি ঠিক আছে, দ্যাটস ফাইন। এখানে আমি একটা পয়েন্ট মিস করছি, সেটা হলো অনেক সময় ক্লায়েন্ট he doesn't want to show their personal address on public means company's house. If you go there, if you click director, you can see their personal address. So in that case, we need to ask first, is it okay to show their address in a company's house? If they said no, there is only one option. Correspondence and registered office address will be our office address. In that case, correspondence address will show in a company's house and registered office address. So it will show only our office address. So that is very important. Before starting form a company, we need to ask very clearly whether they are okay with the correspondence address public can see. If you say no, then they do not have option. Correspondence address need to be our office address, and correspondence address need to be there. Otherwise, people can't contact. So that's very important. What else? Yeah, basically, and obviously, Survey or Ashraf will make the slide or steps. Then whoever is starting, he or she can start. The thing is, you need to be 100% careful when inputting the name. Okay, main thing I haven't discussed, now I will discuss. Now the nature of business, you can see hundreds of codes. So to form a company, it will take time to find out the codes. But as we are a very small organization, and most of the business are almost similar. So whenever you form the company, will tell you this will be the SIC code. SIC code is called. So we'll give you the number anyway, and then you can quickly check and add that number. Okay.